Let's get started. We have Mr. Ekujimi. Nelson Ekujimi is a policy analyst and public affairs analyst as well. So thank you for joining us and happy holiday to you. Oh dear. I mean, perhaps I guess there's a network disruption there, but this is too early, quite too early to get disrupted by network there. But I'm not sure if Mr. Ekujimi can hear me, but if you can hear me, thank you for joining us. And I want us to start by looking at some of the messages coming in as a result of the Sallah break, the Sallah message there from President Tinubu, saying that Nigerians, of course, should bear with the pains because what they are facing now will soon turn to prosperity. That's his Sallah message to Nigerians. According to him, he said the current pains were necessary, noting that the people's sacrifices will pave the way for abundance and a better future for the country. So talk to us if you can hear me. What do you make of this message? It looks like he's breathing a ray of hope. But how hopeful are Nigerians accepting this message coming from President Tinubu? Oh dear. Well, I hope we'll just have to take a break now, short break, and when we get him back online, we get into the conversation right away. Please stay with us. It's the Business Breakfast. All right, thank you for joining us. Now we have Nelson Ekujimi, policy analyst, public affairs analyst as well. He joins us now. So it's good to have you back online. So I was asking you earlier to give us your position on the message, Sallah message coming from President Tinubu, asking Nigeria to bear with the pains because these pains, of course, will not be it's something that, of course, will pave the way for abundance and a better future for the country. That's coming from the president. And I was trying to ask you earlier that does this speak of hope? And again, how hopeful do you think are Nigerians? How optimistic are they? Because it looks like things are getting worse given the impact of the subsidy removal on most of Nigerians now.
I think it is up for Mr. President to give an assuring message of hope to the citizenry as the father of the nation. And like we all know, the pains of a 9-month pregnancy comes with, the safe delivery of the baby on, on delivery day. And if you look at what we are going through presently, we all know that, the times are really hard. And it's a global phenomenon. We are not immune from it. And we expect things to, be tough before they become better. Like, there's this book that says tough times don't last, but tough people do. So whatever we are going through now, I think Nigerians should keep hope alive. We have a president, that we are all conscious that, he knows his onions. He has told us that he should not be pitied, that he's prepared for the job. And what he has done in the last 30 days, signposts, that this is a man who is focused, who knows what he has come there to do. And we can only admonish Nigerians to be patient and, allow government, to put in place measures that will alleviate the sufferings. If you look at what we have gone through in the last few months, or maybe in the last few years, definitely that the decision the president has taken, this administration has taken in the last 30 days, are decisions that has endeared him even to his, fanatical critics. And I can only tell Nigerians that we should keep hope alive. This will become a thing of the past in the nearest future.
I'm talking about measures put in place to cushion the impact of the subsidy removal, and that takes us into our next story, because experts, however, have warned that if President Bola Tinubu fails to follow the recommendation of his Policy Advisory Council by sequencing the reforms of his administration, that more Nigerians will be plunging into poverty. And that corroborated the World Bank position in their National Development Update earlier in the week, that more Nigerians are likely to, slip into poverty. So talk to us about the hasty, as they have described it, that some of these economic reforms were in hasty approach, were done in a hasty manner. So talk to us about this.
I disagree vehemently that those, policies were done in this team manner. These are policies, these are prescriptions that you and I know that delay is dangerous. The present administration has done the needful of methods and processes for, rolling out the palliatives. It's not something you just go into the market and you pour it out the way you want to pour water into a drain. It has to be done methodologically. And that is why even before this administration came on board, the former administration sourced about $800 billion from the World Bank, and that is the distribution of that fund, the rejig of that policy to, distribute that, palliative is ongoing. And as we speak, we have also been made aware that the National Electricity, agency is going to power, some less privileged homes, with solar panels, to provide electricity into the homes. You and I know in the last few days, or in the last close to a month now, I can tell you for free, the public power supply in my environment has improved tremendously. And I've asked people, I've had interactions with people, and they have also alluded to that fact. We need the sustainability of such measures, such that the amount of funds that depletes our purse as families, as businesses in providing alternative private power supply, is saved when we have regular power, uninterrupted power supply. So these are so many other measures are what we are looking forward to, and we can only commend the past administration of President Muhammadu Buhari for its massive investment in the power sector that in the days ahead we are going to benefit from it. But as a people, we need to interrogate it to be sure that we are all in tune with the reality of the situation.
But let me quickly come in. Top of their concerns is that yes, these palliatives are okay. I mean, they are commendable, but much of their concern is how Nigerians can put food on their table. That's one. Secondly, transportation is also very key. The movement between let me say, for instance, in Lagos, from Ikeja, for instance, to somewhere in Ireland, it's has doubled about 1,000% since the subsidy removal. So what they are saying is that the basic transportation, that is mobility, food on the table and shelter, it's what they are concerned. So how does the government intend to address all of these impact, to cushion the impact of this first? So much more than the solar distribution for people to have access to electricity, are also these concerns as well. So how do you address it?
Well, you and I know for free that government has a methodology and processes with which it conducts its business. Government has to be careful. Government has to introspect and ensure that whatever she is doing with regards to the welfare of the people is done methodologically. And don't forget also the fact that these palliatives also has the input from the lenders. That is the World Bank. The World Bank will not give you a loan, and the World Bank will go to sleep. The World Bank is also going to monitor it. And don't also forget that early in the life of this administration, the spokesperson of the administration came out and told us that, look, the social investment program of disbursing the $800 billion is something that even the present administration is going to review, because there are some parameters, there are some indices that have not been factored in. I'm talking in terms of some sectors of the society who also wants to be involved in that net, who also want to be captured. And this and many more are what the administration is trying to organize. And also don't forget that even as a worker, if you have spent X amount of money to access your workplace, at the end of the day, if you are now paid, a sort of allowance to cushion it, that's also part of how government operates. It's not a compulsory that you should be giving now, because whatever you have depleted from your purse now can be reimbursed by government, through whatever mechanism they are going to come up with. But I think the engagement must continue constructively, like we are doing. I think that will let us have a view of how to go forward.